Hello everyone, today we are starting the story of Liu Nian, an average guy who fails to secure a job every time he goes for an interview. To make matters worse, his girlfriend turns out to be a gold digger and cheats on him right in front of his eyes. Things don't stop there for Liu Nian. He discovers that his father and cousin have fallen into a deep coma after playing a game non-stop. Determined to find out what happened, Liu Nian decides to enter the game himself. However, after an unexpected death in the game, he discovers he is the reincarnation of King Zhou. Things take turn and he finds himself with a harem of beauties to choose from, enchanting beast-eared girls, cold and beautiful mature women, and sweet and adorable lolis. Determined to rewrite his fate, he decides not to be the ultimate villain this time. With all the stunning beauties by his side, Liu Nian aims to overturn the heavens in the new round of the ultimate Venerate/God battle, setting his sights on becoming the top deity. Please leave a like, as today's like goal is 1,500 likes to hit the subscribe button for more videos. So let's start the story without any delay. The story starts with Liu Nian letting out a deep sigh after yet another failed interview. He ponders how tough it is to land a job these days and wonders when his life will finally take off. Liu Nian, an ordinary university graduate, faces his 18th rejection. He remembers the HR's words, stating they only want workers who can work 24/7 and his salary demands are too high for their aggressive culture. Reflecting on his constant setbacks since graduation, Liu Nian finds solace in his considerate and beautiful girlfriend. They met on campus and she always comforts him when he is exhausted, making him feel like maybe he's not the only one who failed math. Life seems to have missed a few calculations too. Today marks their 3rd anniversary, and after a week of delivering takeout, Liu Nian finally buys a cake for her, planning a surprise. However, as he nears her home, he hears her voice coming from a car parked outside. To his shock, his girlfriend is getting intimate with a man named Chao. Even when she sees Liu Nian standing there, she doesn't care that he catches her cheating. Instead, she seems even more excited by it. Well, that's one surprise he didn't plan for. Liu Nian clenches his fists and curses her under his breath. Just then, his phone starts ringing. It's his mom calling him at this hour, which makes him wonder what's going on. He answers the call, and his mom informs him that his father and cousin are in critical condition. She tells him to come to the emergency room at the first city hospital immediately. Liu Nian reassures his mom not to panic and says he'll be there right away. He smashes the cake he brought for his girlfriend on the ground, swearing that he won't let these scumbags get away with this. He then rushes to the first city hospital, thinking that his life is starting to resemble a really bad soap opera. Outside the emergency room of the hospital, the doctor tells Liu Nian's mom that her husband and nephew are in a deep coma. Their brains are near death, but their vital signs are stable for now. The doctor adds that the hospital has recently received several patients with similar symptoms. The experts cannot find the exact cause of the coma, so they advise her to be prepared. Moments later, Liu Nian arrives at the hospital. He asks his mother where his dad is. His mom informs him that his dad and cousin suddenly fell into a coma and asks him what they should do now. She adds that she warned them not to play games too much, and now look what happened. Another lady sitting beside his mom chimes in, saying her son also collapsed while playing a game, calling the game useless. She mentions the police said the server is overseas, making it impossible to block. She adds that even if they smash the VR headsets, new ones mysteriously appear at their doorstep the next day. Liu Nian reflects that after the national server of World of Warcraft shut down, his dad feared losing his job. But then a new MMO game, Continent, came along. His dad took his cousin to explore it, earned gold, and streamed to make money for her dowry. Later, back at home, Liu Nian picks up the VR headset of the game in question. He reflects on how this recently launched immersive online game, with his ultra-realistic gameplay and VR headset developed by the official team, caused a huge stir in the gaming community. The realistic sensations made it an instant hit. Yet this game is also the reason his dad and cousin fell into a deep coma. Liu Nian wonders what secrets are hidden within this game and decides to solve this mystery himself. He puts on the VR headset and starts playing the game. Soon, a screen appears in front of him welcoming him to Glory Continent. As he continues playing, 5 hours later, he finds himself in the wilderness near Iron Fence Mountain Novice Village. Suddenly, he confronts a ghoul shouting that she needs a man. Liu Nian quickly shoots at her with his AK-47. He reflects on his luck in getting the Black Dog's Blood AK-47 from the novice gift pack, thinking no matter what demons or ghosts show up, he'll send them all to the afterlife with good old physics. Liu Nian is currently at level 3, a free player with no class yet. The ghoul is killed and he receives coins and a rare cultivation stone as a reward. The ghouls, known to be the grudges of abandoned women, are unique to the area near the novice village. Killing them drops 200 to 300 coins and rarely drops rare cultivation stones. Looks like abandoned grudges pay well in this game. Who knew heartbreak could be so profitable? Liu Nian reflects that the coins are few, but the cultivation stone he just got provides 300 cultivation points, making him feel lucky. Although he hasn't figured out all the game's mechanics yet, his current task is to kill monsters and level up. He thinks that his decision to abandon the crowd and hunt rare monsters outside the village is paying off. He begins collecting the coins, but suddenly, a lightning bolt strikes him, draining almost a quarter of his HP. He curses the bastard mage who dares to ambush him just after he leaves the novice village. Just then, a group of looters appears, and among them is Jin Chao, the man with whom Liu Nian's ex-girlfriend cheated. Chao smirks and comments that it's truly delusional for a player under level 10 to hunt monsters outside the village. His ex-girlfriend is by Chao's side, adding salt to the wound. Chao continues, sneering that killing a lot of new players to level up is more efficient than hunting monsters alone. One of his followers points out the rare cultivation stone Liu Nian has and suggests they just take it. Chao declares that enough talk, this kill is his. He tells his group to let him show them the power of a top spender. Liu Nian, not one to back down, retorts that he's not easy to bully. He throws a stink bomb at them, shouting, "Take this." The stink bomb, a novice village auxiliary item, emits a foul smoke that reduces monsters' magic defense and obscures players' vision. Chao and his group, now coughing and squinting through the thick smoke, realize that even in a game, you should never underestimate the power of a well-timed stink bomb. Chao coughs, commenting that it feels like he ate cow dung. Liu Nian, seizing the moment, runs away, muttering that of his 36 strategies, running is the best. He reflects that fortunately, he was thorough and bought all the novice village auxiliary items. Otherwise, he would be dead today. He curses those cheating bastards under his breath, but just then, a mana-infused attack pierces through his back, dropping his HP to a mere 40. His ex-girlfriend steps forward, wielding a giant cucumber weapon, and it's clear she was the one who attacked him. Liu Nian, feeling intense pain, grits his teeth and continues cursing them, the betrayal cutting deeper than the attack. Chao steps forward and taunts Liu Nian, daring him to run again if he can, declaring that today he won't escape. With an evil grin, Chao lifts his sword and tells Liu Nian that he will take not only his gear but also his woman. He adds that he will take Liu Nian's coins and cultivation stone, reveling in the power he holds. Chao attacks Liu Nian, and Liu Nian can't believe how much it hurts. He wonders why it feels so real. Isn't this just a game? His heart aches and his vision blurs as he wonders if this is what death feels like. His eyes close and there is just darkness. Well, I guess that's game over in the most literal sense. Moments later, Liu Nian hears someone telling him to wake up, addressing him as His Majesty. As he opens his eyes, he sees two beautiful women excitedly welcoming him back as their king, remarking that they missed him. Each of them is sitting below him with his feet in their laps. Liu Nian curses himself, wondering why he didn't respawn in the novice village. Confused and bewildered, he tries to make sense of his situation, questioning what is this place and who are these two beautiful ladies, as they don't look like players. Just then, a third lady appears, pushing aside the other two. She addresses him as "my lord" and asks if he remembers her. She introduces herself as Sudaji, saying she can finally breathe with him again. The other lady with purple hair screams, addressing Liu Nian as His Majesty, and says that in his past life, he always favored Daji. She insists that this time he should let Huxemi serve him. Liu Nian, bewildered, thinks great, now he's in some reincarnation drama with ancient lovers. What's next? A pet dragon claiming to be his childhood friend. The lady with aqua hair approaches him, saying her lord's birth is a joyous event and that she will help him freshen up. She then shows him a mirror, and Liu Nian is shocked to see his reflection. Liu Nian, feeling a mix of confusion and frustration, demands to know what is happening, who they are, and why does he look like this. Seeing him in anger, all three women instantly bow down before him. Huxemi urges Liu Nian to calm down, explaining that this is the Xuanyuan tomb and they are the three demons guarding it by order. Studaji adds that before his death, he prophesied his rebirth 1,000 years later. Now the time has come. They have been awaiting him at the royal tomb. Liu Nian cannot comprehend this situation. He wonders if he has encountered a game bug and mistakenly reincarnated as King Zhou. With an evil grin, he contemplates whether this means he can have a harem of beauties. Just then, the lady with aqua hair approaches him on her knees, apologizing for a poor service and requesting severe punishment. Liu Nian, still trying to grasp the reality of his situation, feels like he's fallen into the plot of the strangest game ever designed. Liu Nian lifts her face with his fingers and, thinking that since the game has made him King Zhou, he decides to test the boundaries. He orders her to use her tongue to help him, reasoning that if they are King Zhou's harem NPCs, it isn't excessive to ask them for favors. Sudaji, noticing his fatigue, suggests they bathe together to help him relax after his reincarnation. Liu Nian can't help but start crying, tears of joy streaming down his face. He feels overwhelmed with happiness and relief, thinking he doesn't want to go back to his previous life. Well, if this is a glitch in the game, he hopes the developers take their sweet time fixing it. Liu Nian did not expect there to be a hot spring beach blossom pool. He recalls that Sudaji mentioned they were waiting for him inside. As he enters the pool area, the three beauties welcome him. Sudaji tells him she has been eagerly waiting. Liu Nian cannot believe his eyes, reflecting that the spring scenery is infinitely good and 6 peaches are ready to be plucked. He grins and thinks, well, this is definitely better than job interviews. Who needs a resume when you've got a hot spring paradise? Just as Liu Nian is about to enter the pool, he notices a faint aroma of wine in the hot spring. He reflects that this game not only feels real, but even the smells are incredibly lifelike. Sudaji explains that he used to love bathing in wine, claiming it not only relieved fatigue, but also greatly increased his cultivation. Blushing, she tells him that they, the lovebirds, are waiting and he should come quickly to join them. Liu Nian tells Sudaji that if the wine pool and meat garden can boost cultivation, then they must take it seriously and start their cultivation. Well, if bathing in wine boosts his stats, he might just become the most powerful player ever, and probably the happiest too. Then, together with Sudaji, Huiximi, and Taximei, he has one of the naughtiest times of his life in the pool. Soon the system notifies him, congratulating him on unlocking the hidden class Human Emperor, and on learning the cultivation secret method Wine Pool and Meat Garden. This method doubles the cultivation speed for 72 hours after dual cultivation. The system also congratulates Liu Nian on learning the secret cultivation method Waste Not Want Not, which allows him to instantly activate a magic treasure 3 times without casting time, though the treasure will be destroyed after use. Liu Nian feels a rush of excitement on this night of indulgence, having unlocked a hidden class and learned new skills. The experience, however, feels all too real, leaving him nearly exhausted, like he just ran a marathon in a dream. Meanwhile, Hasanmei approaches with a worried look. She informs him that trouble is brewing. Shen Gongbao has led people to the Xuanyuan tomb and insists on discussing matters with her sister, Sudaji, in the Xuan Palace. Liu Nian wonders if Shen Gongbao is the same person who famously said, "Fellow Taoist, please stay in the investiture of the gods." Huiximi, ever the voice of caution, informs Liu Nian that Shen Gongbao is bad news. He's not only a traitor in the celestial realm, but also colludes with the demon sect. If Shen Gongbao discovers Liu Nian's presence, who knows what chaos might ensue. Sudaji informs Liu Nian that she'll now use the concealment technique and requests that he endure following her to the Xuan Palace. She then uses the honeypot treasure refining technique, hiding Liu Nian into a jade pendant and places him in her cleavage. Concealed, Liu Nian marvels at the spell's brilliance, not only turning his body into an ornament, but also completely hiding his aura. Ximai then urges Sudaji to hurry to the Xuan Palace before Shen Gongbao gets suspicious. It's like being smuggled in style, albeit a bit awkwardly. Later at the Xuan Palace, Shen Gongbao sits comfortably on the king's throne and greets Sudaji with a smirk, saying it's been a long time. Seeing him sitting there, Sudaji's fury ignites. She lunges forward, shouting that he once assisted the king, and that throne belongs to the king. He shouldn't overstep his bounds. But just as she's about to strike, one of Shen Gongbao's demonic minions intercepts her, sneering that a mere fox demon dares to attack the new king of the demon realm. In response, Sudaji slaps the demon so hard that he goes flying across the room. Another of Shen Gongbao's demonic minions steps forward, urging Sudaji to hold on. He explains that Shen has taken over the game's operation to harvest human essence, and she must listen to Shen and not be rude. He advises her to calm down and hear what Shen Gongbao has to say. Sudaji, fuming but composed, demands Shen Gongbao to speak quickly. Shen Gongbao addresses Sudaji, noting that Emperor Xin's soul has dissipated for 1,000 years, yet she remains infatuated. He tells her it's time to move on and get to the point. Shen Gongbao reflects on how Sudaji hasn't wasted her cultivation despite being suppressed for 1,000 years, thinking they should try to win her over. The system voiceover then explains that since the primordial Lord of Heaven decided to restart the investiture of the gods, he and Jiang Zia designed Glory Continent, an online game. They use helmets to transport humans into the small world for training, selecting talents who can be assigned to the celestial realm. It's like a divine version of a sports where leveling up takes on a whole new cosmic meaning. Humans that play the game leave puppet avatars in the real world to continue their lives. Additionally, gods who learned of this news sent dreams to their descendants, instructing them to choose exceptional family members to enter the game world with huge sums of money for cultivation. Because this game incorporates many elements from popular games and is extremely realistic, it attracted nearly 1 million players as soon as it launched. According to Zhang Ziya's initial game settings, players who die in the game can revive at the respawn point as long as their essence remains intact, with no harm to their bodies. However, since Shen Gongbao colluded with the demon sect leader to seal Zhang Ziya, the game mechanism has been altered. Shen Gongbao opened a secret passage connecting the game's small world to the demon realm. Demons sneaked into the small world disguised as various NPCs, secretly harvesting human essence. When demons control human essence, the player's avatars in reality fall into a coma. It's like a sinister plot twist where the ultimate boss fight spills over into real life and no cheat codes can save you from a nap of doom. The game map is based on the 9 mountains and 8 seas, with the first layer being Iron Fence Mountain and the highest layer being Mount Sumeru. To better control the upper areas of the small world, Shen Gongbao enlisted the help of the 7 monsters of Meishan, Dobo Taoist, and Jinlin Holy Mother to guard the game world. So far, 80% of the players are still on the first layer, Iron Fence Mountain, while only 20% have managed to reach the second layer, Elephant Trunk Mountain. However, they have already encountered demon ambushes and many are trapped in dungeons, having their essence drained. In the present, Shen Gongbao reveals his master plan. With Zhang Ziya sealed by his design and the primordial Lord of Heaven in seclusion for at least 1,000 years, they have ample time to transport all humans in the universe into his small world to harvest their essence. These essences will greatly enhance their power, allowing them to break through the barrier. With this power, the demon sect leader's dream of unifying the 3 realms will be within reach. Listening to all this from inside the Jade Pendant, Liu Nian is shocked. He realizes that this isn't just a game, it's a small world of the investiture of the gods created by the primordial Lord of Heaven and Zhang Ziya. Shen Gongbao even sealed Zhang Ziya and took over the operation, so some of the NPCs in the game are real demons and gods in disguise. Reflecting on his identity, Liu Nian grasps the truth. He really is the reincarnation of King Zhou. The descendants of the gods' families are spending money like it's going out of style while betting their lives in the game. No wonder his father and others are in a coma. Liu Nian realizes his father must have encountered a demon from the demon realm. Meanwhile, Shen Gongbao asks Sudaji if she recalls Emperor Xin's declaration before his death that he would reincarnate after 1,000 years. He inquires if she has any clues about his whereabouts. He adds that the essence of the human emperor is extremely precious, and if they devour his soul and essence, the demon sect leader's cultivation will increase by a great realm. He tells her that even if she is infatuated, she must understand the importance. It's like searching for the ultimate power-up, but with a romantic twist that complicates the villain's grand plan. Sudaji responds that there has been no unusual activity in the Xun Yuan tomb recently, and that even if the king reincarnates, he would not have past memories, nor would he come here. Shen Gongbao counters, reminding her that she and her 2 sisters have been trapped in the imperial tomb for 1,000 years. He then offers a tempting deal. If they help find the reincarnation of Emperor Xin, the demon sect leader will find a way to free them in return. After making his proposal, Shen Gongbao tells Sudaji that he still has to patrol other areas of the map, so he won't waste any more time here. He then immediately leaves with his men. Once he's gone, Liu Nian emerges from the Jade Pendant and addresses the 3 demon sisters. He tells them they cannot let Shen Gongbao and the 7 monsters of Meishan control the game any longer. If they do, not only will millions of people die, but the demon realm will also invade their world. He reflects on his mission. He must embrace his identity as the human emperor to cultivate properly, save his father, find Zhang Ziya, and stop Shen Gongbao's conspiracy. The 3 demon sisters bow before him, and Sudaji declares that it is a rare honor to reunite with the king, vowing to protect him to the death. He adds that they all pledge to serve the king with their lives. It's like forming an elite team in an epic fantasy, where loyalty and stakes are as high as the mountain peaks they're destined to conquer. Sudaji then hands Liu Nian the golden jade seal and tells him it is an artifact from his previous life, one that only those with the bloodline of the human emperor can open. She asks him to please take a look. As Liu Nian examines it in his hand, he wonders what treasures it might contain. Sudaji prompts him to quickly say, "I am the human emperor. Open the jade seal." Just as Liu Nian utters the words, the jade seal opens, emitting a golden light. It's like opening a legendary loot box with the added thrill of unlocking a piece of his own royal past. Out of the golden jade seal emerges a rusty sword. A system notification pops up, congratulating him on opening King Zhou's jade seal rare item. The notification explains that this item symbolizes royal authority. It is soulbound, meaning it will not drop even if the player dies, and the player can open the seal again upon reaching level 20. Looking at the sword, Liu Nian finds it dirty and wonders if this is some kind of joke. Huiximi comments that it resembles the Dragon Phoenix sword that the king used to carry. She explains that the Dragon Phoenix sword's aura is fierce and capable of breaking through a million-strong army, but it requires a large amount of rare materials to activate. She promises to send the materials list to the king later. Liu Nian sighs and says that it seems he cannot use it for now. He jokes that the AK-47 is more reliable at the moment and realizes he needs to hurry and kill monsters to level up while he still has the buff. It's like being handed Excalibur but realizing a trusty old rifle is more practical for now. Listening to him, Sugaji steps closer and hugs Liu Nian, asking if he is already leaving the Xuanyuan tomb. She says that after such a long separation, she cannot bear to part with him. Liu Nian gently taps her head, assuring her that he will return regularly to cultivate with his beloved consorts, which will also enhance the cultivation buff. Sugaji finds this wonderful, expressing her joy at the chance to serve the king again. She vows to diligently cultivate and break through the Xuanyuan tomb's restrictions as soon as possible to assist the king. It's a heartfelt reunion in a dramatic saga where love and power-ups go hand in hand. Liu Nian tries to teleport himself to the novice village, but every time he attempts it, a notification window pops up with an error warning. He finds this strange since the novice village usually allows 1-hour teleportation, yet he cannot teleport out. Hugasimi explains that the Xuanyuan tomb is too far from the novice village, making teleportation impossible. Liu Nian, puzzled, questions if he's stuck there and how he will kill monsters and level up. Sitmi chimes in, reassuring him not to worry. She tells him that his Jade Seal has a teleportation function, and all he needs to do is think Jade Seal teleport in his mind to reach his destination. It's like discovering your phone has a hidden app that solves your problem. Convenient, yet mildly infuriating you didn't know sooner. Liu Nian nods and says he understands, then uses his Jade Seal to teleport to the novice village. The 3 Fox Demon Sisters bow before him, bidding him farewell. Instantly, Liu Nian is transported back to the Iron Fence Mountain novice village. Finally back at the Freshman Point, Liu Nian decides to kill monsters and level up later. Just then, he sees a few players charging, shouting that it's noon and the wild beast has respawned. One of the players, in a rush, tells Liu Nian to move aside, adding that good dogs don't block the way. It's like being in a bustling market where everyone's rushing for the best deals, only here, the deals fight back. Liu Nian wonders what is going on. Out of nowhere, a lady dressed like a white fairy steps in and commands everyone to move aside. She leads gracefully, stepping on one of the players, and then soars towards the respawned boss, chasing it. Liu Nian, mesmerized, can't help but drool of the fairy girl, muttering to himself that the view is fantastic and her figure is quite stunning. Observing her wings, Liu Nian wonders if those are the Wind Thunder Wings, the super rare speed item from the item pool. Many top players have spent a fortune and still couldn't get it. The respawn boss is a rare treasure, the Ginseng Tree Spirit, level 14, from the Demon Spirit period. The real treasure Ginseng Tree is a spiritual root of the earth. It's said that the tree blooms and bears fruit every 3,000 years, taking another 3,000 years for the fruit to mature. The fruit is a precious cultivation-enhancing material. Liu Nian realizes the significance of the boss, thinking it's like stumbling upon a treasure chest in the middle of a battle royale, except this chest has roots and fights back. All the players continue attacking the Ginseng Tree boss, but no one can even slightly damage it. The Ginseng Tree boss ensnares many players in its vines, rendering them immobile. Panic spreads among the players, with one exclaiming that the tree constantly uses AoE attacks and the tank can't hold it, leaving them unsure how to fight it. Liu Nian observes from afar, reflecting that this wild boss probably drops rare materials. He muses that it's like watching a group of adventurers trying to fell a mythical beast, only to realize they're armed with sticks and stones against a force of nature. Meanwhile, the fairy girl takes out her sword and thinks that these vines are annoying and need to be cut off first. She then rushes at the Ginseng Tree boss with all her might, confident that although she is 2 levels lower than the demon, she can handle it. Observing her, Liu Nian reflects that this girl's swordsmanship is quite impressive. It's like watching a seasoned chef slice through a stubborn root vegetable with ease, and Liu Nian can't help but admire her skill. Just as Liu Nian is lost in thought, a hidden vine from the Ginseng Tree grabs him by the foot. Simultaneously, another vine snags the fairy girl by her foot. Liu Nian exclaims that he didn't expect a vine to be hiding underground and to catch him from so far away. The fairy girl loses her sword, and in an ironic twist of fate, the vines wrap Liu Nian and the fairy girl together. It's like a scene from a romantic comedy, only with more peril and fewer laughs. Instead of panicking, Liu Nian gets excited by the situation he finds himself in. His testosterone levels spike, and it shows on his face. The fairy girl, confused and slightly irritated, asks him what the weapon pressing against her abdomen is. Trying his best not to reveal his perverted thoughts, he tells her not to move like that as it's making things harder for him, quite literally and figuratively. The fairy girl notices the ginseng fruit swelling ominously and realizes it's about to explode. In the next second, it detonates, sending acidic juice everywhere. Liu Nian quickly covers the girl to protect her, resulting in his shirt and all his equipment dissolving in the corrosive liquid. He urgently tells her to think quickly about what magic items she has as they don't have much time before the second wave of explosions hits. The fairy girl tells him that she has a magic necklace called Phoenix Feather, which can get them out of there, but she cannot activate it right now. Liu Nian confidently tells her to leave it to him, claiming he knows how to activate it. Her cheeks turn red with embarrassment, while Liu Nian gets momentarily distracted by her enchanting scent. The fairy girl, noticing his distraction, exclaims that the second wave of explosions is coming, and here he is, thinking about that kind of thing. It's a moment of high stakes and high tension, where survival and awkward chemistry collide in the most unexpected way. The fairy girl, exasperated, tells Liu Nian that if he claims he can activate the magic item, he should hurry up and do it. Liu Nian, with a sudden burst of determination, grabs her magic necklace with his teeth and shouts at her to stop moving. The fairy girl, indignant, says how dare he yell at her. However, just then, Liu Nian activates the necklace, summoning a magnificent phoenix. The fairy girl is astonished at the instant activation of the phoenix feather necklace, wondering how it didn't require the usual casting time. It's like watching someone bypass the long lines at a theme park with a secret pass, impressive and a little maddening. Meanwhile, the phoenix grows to an enormous size and defeats the ginseng tree in an instant. The other spectators are stunned by the one-shot kill. One player comments that this is the legendary fire-based magic item worth about 3 million. He adds that he recognizes the girl. She's the eldest daughter of the brilliant group Miss Fang. Another player, clearly enamored, asks about the guy beside her, shouting at Liu Nian to stay away from his goddess. A bald player exclaims that this is terrifying, wondering aloud if this is the difference between a big spender and an ordinary person. Nearby, a blonde girl turns to her boyfriend and demands he buy her a magic item too. Just then, the bald player spots something and tells the others to look over there, mentioning that the rare treasure tree has revived in some mutated form. It's like a video game plot twist where the boss comes back for round 2, but now it's even more menacing. Miss Fang is shocked to see the mutated tree and comments that the magic item's cooldown is half an hour. She asks Liu Nian what they should do now. Liu Nian assures her it's no worries and tells her to leave it to him. The other players are amused by his comment and start making fun of him, saying he is just showing off as a level 9 player who hasn't even changed class. They keep cheering for Miss Fang, telling her they trust her and asking if she has another magic item. Miss Fang curses herself, reflecting that most of her magic items are in the city's bank vault. She thinks that if things don't work out, retreating might be the best option. It's embarrassing, but at least she won't get killed and lose her equipment. With the phoenix feather necklace still in his teeth, Liu Nian summons the phoenix again. In the next instant, the phoenix attacks the mutated tree with all its might. All the spectators are shocked, wondering how the magic item activated again. They murmur among themselves, questioning if Miss Fang used the magic item just now, and aren't magic items supposed to have a cooldown. Meanwhile, Liu Nian instructs the phoenix to strike again, mentioning that it's not over yet and it should burn the mutated tree down. Within seconds, the mutated tree loses all its HP and is reduced to ashes. It's like watching the underdog step up in a superhero movie, while the crowd doubts if he even knows how to tie his cape. The spectators are stunned, wondering what just happened as even the mutated tree got burned to death in 2 strikes. One of them shouts that big spending is amazing and magic items are incredible. It's like watching someone win a high-stakes poker game with a royal flush, leaving everyone else at the table in awe of their luck and resources. Just then, a notification window pops up and congratulates Liu Nian for successfully defeating the pesky, mutated rare treasure ginseng tree spirit. With a triumphant ding, it announces his haul. 5x ginseng fruit, 5x amethyst, and a jaw-dropping 66,666 gold coins. That's right, someone has a sense of humor. Liu Nian's level shoots up from 9 to 12 faster than he can say level up, and he also scores a mutated star stone. To top it all off, he's rewarded with a hopping 15,000 experience points. Miss Fang stands there, utterly flabbergasted, wondering how on earth this guy managed to fire 3 times in a row. Meanwhile, lurking in the distance, Liu Nian's ex-girlfriend and her current flame, Jin Chao, are plotting to swipe all the treasures Liu Nian has snagged. A nearby girl can't help but tell Liu Nian how hot he is, claiming he's making her knees weak. Her companion, clearly not impressed, mutters about Liu Nian cheating and threatens to report him. The bald man chimes in, suggesting there's something fishy about Liu Nian's mouth, suspecting he's hiding an artifact that instantly activates magic items. Miss Fang, ever the detective, also deduces that there's definitely something strange going on with Liu Nian's mouth. Meanwhile, Liu Nian realizes that his ability Waste Not, Want Not truly allows for 3 instant activations of a magic item. However, in a snap, the phoenix feather necklace shatters in his hand. Shocked, Liu Nian stares at the remains of the necklace, worth 3 million, about the price of a house in the city. Nearby, the girls rush to Liu Nian, with one boldly suggesting a French kiss as a thank you for saving them. Miss Fang, considering this unusual gratitude, deduces she might uncover his secret by kissing him, reasoning that he probably won't resist. Well, who knew heroism could be so romantic? She tells the others to step aside and approaches Liu Nian with determination. Liu Nian begins to apologize, explaining that the phoenix feather shattered, but before he can finish, Miss Fang grabs his face and starts kissing him passionately. Liu Nian's mind races, wondering what on earth is happening. As they continue, the spectators start cursing themselves, realizing that the kiss has lasted for 10 minutes. The longer they kiss, the more awkward their position becomes, leaving everyone around them in stunned silence and wondering if they stumbled into a romance novel by mistake. Minutes later, Miss Fang finds it strange that she hasn't discovered anything unusual. Liu Nian, gasping for air, asks her to stop, repeating that the phoenix feather necklace has shattered. Miss Fang, unfazed, replies that shattered is shattered. It's only 3 million. She tells him that he blocked the fruit explosion for her earlier, which is why his equipment got damaged. With a sly grin, she suggests they head to Baohua Tower auction house to see what they can find. And who knows, maybe there's a kissing booth there too. Liu Nian argues that every item at Baohua Tower starts at 1 million. Miss Fang, with a confident smile, tells him to consider it her thank you. She then suggests they go back to her apartment so he can change clothes first. As she leads him away, she reflects on her frustration. Not only did she lose her first kiss, but she also found nothing. Determined not to let it go, she decides to search him thoroughly later. With a mischievous glint in her eyes, she thinks to herself that she will have this man today, no matter what. Liu Nian, oblivious to her plans, just hopes his luck will hold out a bit longer. Later in the evening, they both arrive in front of Miss Fang's mansion. Miss Fang invites him inside, and Liu Nian is stunned by the sheer size of her estate. He marvels at the mansion, thinking it must cover several thousand acres in the VIP area. Liu Nian reflects on the game currency being equal to RMB, realizing this house must be worth tens of millions. As they step inside, the breathtaking interior leaves Liu Nian speechless. He recalls his dad's words about gold farming in the game being lucrative enough to earn a dowry. With a smirk, he thinks maybe his dad had a point after all. He jumps from the bed in the master bedroom, feeling a bit out of place. Miss Fang tells him that the earlier fight made her feel sticky all over, and she needs to shower. She instructs him to rest on the bed in the meantime. As she heads to the bathroom, Liu Nian wonders how a simple clothes change turned into a shower, pondering if she might be offering herself. While showering, Miss Fang takes out the bewitching incense she bought earlier in the VIP area. She applies the incense to her body, thinking that once Liu Nian passes out, she'll search him thoroughly. Emerging from the shower in her bathrobe, she tells Liu Nian that they have some time before the Baohua Tower auction opens, so they should rest for a bit. Liu Nian, feeling the heat rise, starts to fidget. Miss Fang then teasingly shows him her legs and asks with a playful smirk, how about he come over and taste them? Liu Nian's mind races, realizing this night is going in a completely different direction than he expected. Liu Nian, seemingly out of control, goes to her feet and starts licking her legs, mumbling that he can't hold it anymore. Miss Fang, now growing nervous, wonders why he hasn't passed out yet. She recalls her conversation with the shopkeeper when she asked if he sold auxiliary items that could knock someone out and leave them at her mercy. The shopkeeper had chuckled and told her that simply knocking someone out wouldn't be effective. He had then presented her with a box of special bewitching incense, claiming it had a stronger effect than what she initially sought. Excited by the promise, she eagerly bought it. Now, with Liu Nian still conscious and acting wildly, Miss Fang starts to worry that she might have underestimated both the incense and Liu Nian's resilience. In the present moment, she curses herself, realizing that the old man sold her an aphrodisiac instead of a knockout drug. Meanwhile, Liu Nian, overcome with the effects of the incense, gets on top of her and starts kissing her passionately. What follows next is a whirlwind of hanky-panky, leaving Miss Fang wondering how her carefully laid plans spiraled into this unexpected and steamy encounter. The next morning, Miss Fang curses herself for not uncovering Liu Nian's secret and instead getting herself involved in a 6-hour escapade. As Liu Nian begins to apologize, Miss Fang interrupts him, declaring that there's no use in apologizing now since he's officially the son-in-law of the Fang family. She hands him the male virtue manual, stating that he is her person now. With a stern look, she warns him that if she finds out he isn't behaving, she will castrate him, adding that feudal dregs must never be tolerated. Liu Nian, holding the manual, realizes his life has taken a dramatically unexpected turn. She covers herself up and tells Liu Nian that it's getting late, so he should pick out a new outfit to change into as they need to go to Baohua Tower for the auction. However, as she takes a few steps, her legs feel sore. Liu Nian, noticing her discomfort, asks if she's okay. Miss Fang, glaring at him, blames him for her soreness. Liu Nian quickly apologizes, but his apology only fuels her anger. Furious, she tells him to get out and go to the auction by himself. Before Liu Nian leaves, Miss Fang hands him her card, stating it has a limit of 1 billion and he can buy whatever he wants. Liu Nian, overexcited, stares in awe at the legendary black and gold card. He marvels at the 1 billion limit, reflecting on how amazing Miss Fang is, a true rich woman. Miss Fang returns to the bed, stating that she's going to rest and that Liu Nian can buy whatever he likes. Liu Nian puts on his clothes, reflecting on his situation. Though he doesn't like relying on someone else, he knows he has to do this for now for his father's safety. With a determined look, he steps out, ready to face the world with the legendary black and gold card in hand. Miss Fang reflects on the previous night, finding it quite enjoyable. She knows that Liu Nian is physically strong and considers that with some training, he could become a valuable asset to the Fang family. Later, Liu Nian arrives at Baohua Tower, Iron Fence Mountain Branch, the most prestigious chamber of commerce in Glory Continent. He marvels at the fact that the entrance fee alone is 1 million, thinking to himself that this must be the world of big spenders. Just then, he spots his ex-girlfriend with her new boyfriend. The boyfriend sneers at Liu Nian, taunting him by calling him a living turtle. Chow, with a smirk, adds that a pupper trying to waltz into Baohua Tower must be delusional. His girlfriend agrees, feeling fortunate she chose Chow, as her life would be a mess otherwise. Liu Nian, rolling his eyes, thinks of them as a despicable couple. Determined to prove them wrong, he resolves to show them what real wealth looks like. With a confident stride, he steps forward, ready to turn the tables and leave them with their jaws on the floor. At the entrance, a bunny girl approaches Liu Nian, asking if he is here for the auction at Baohua Tower, and informing him that proof of assets over 10 million is required for entry. Liu Nian reflects that it looks like he'll have to use Miss Fang's money and decides he will make it up to her later. Meanwhile, Chow shouts at Liu Nian, telling him to keep walking and declaring that if Liu Nian steps into Baohua Tower, he, Jin Chao, will live stream himself eating shit. His girlfriend can't stop laughing, adding that Liu Nian should stop embarrassing himself, as she knows exactly how little he is worth. Liu Nian reflects that he will make them all eat their words. Chow's companions find it highly entertaining, commenting that this poor fool thinks he can challenge young master Jin Chao. One of them shouts, telling Liu Nian not to just stand there gawking and to get in already. With a smirk, Liu Nian takes out the legendary black and gold card, handing it to the bunny girl. Chao and his girlfriend's eyes practically pop out of their sockets, looking like cartoon characters witnessing an impossible twist. A companion of Chao rubs his eyes, wondering if he's seeing things. That card requires spending at least 100 million, and he starts to speculate if Liu Nian might be one of those legendary low-key billionaires. Another one, with a barely contained laugh, comments on whether young master Jin Chao is really going to live stream himself eating shit. Chao, now pale as a ghost, realizes his big mouth might have just dug him a very deep hole. He shouts that the card must be fake. His girlfriend, eager to support him, tells the bunny girl to thoroughly check if the card is genuine. The bald guard chimes in, warning Liu Nian that if it is fake, he's dead meat. As they proceed to check the card, everyone holds their breath. Soon the machine verifies that it is indeed genuine. The bald guard, now smiling warmly, tells Liu Nian to please proceed to the SVIP entrance. Liu Nian, with a satisfied smirk, strides forward, leaving Chao and his companions in stunned silence, their grand day turned upside down. A moment later, the bald guard approaches Chao and his girlfriend, sternly instructing them to cause no commotion in front of Baohua Tower. He adds with a smirk that if they need to eat shit well, they can go to the public toilet across the street. Internally, he reflects that these fools nearly made him offend a VIP. Jin Chao and his girlfriend can't believe what's happening to them. The spectators laugh, seeing it as a classic face-slapping moment. One of them even jokes to Jin Chao that they'll be sure to donate during his shit-eating live stream. Fuming, Chao turns to his girlfriend, vowing to make Liu Nian pay for this public humiliation. Jin Chao and his girlfriend try to enter the auction but are stopped by the guard at the entrance. The guard with a smirk tells them that their gold card is nice, but this entrance is for SVIP, directing them to join the regular public line. Reluctantly, they stand at the back of the queue for the regular entrance. Chao curses under his breath, reflecting on what a rotten day it has been for him. He decides to line up quietly, knowing they can't afford to mess with Manhwa Tower. His girlfriend reflects on their situation, thinking who would have imagined that Jin Cheo doesn't even qualify for the VIP entrance. Thoroughly humiliated by that damn Liu Nian, she decides there's no way she'll stick with Cheo and resolves to find someone even richer. Meanwhile, inside the auction hall, Liu Nian sits comfortably in the front row, feeling like a king on his throne. He reflects on the rumors he's heard about incredibly rare cultivation methods and treasures being auctioned here every month. Today, it seems like a different story today. In the back row, Chao seats with jealousy. He mutters to his girlfriend that Liu Nian must have either picked up the card somewhere or stolen it, because how else could a pauper like him possess such a card? While his girlfriend, now questioning her life choices, sighs and wonders if she should have opted for a better seat, or perhaps a better boyfriend. Soon, the Madam of Manhwa Tower announces a moment of silence as the much-anticipated auction is about to commence. With a flourish, she announces that the first item up for auction is the Ice Jade Incense Cauldron, a high-level magic treasure refined from the essence of various rare fragrances. When used in battle, it instantly restores 50% of health with a cooldown time of just 0.5 hours. The starting bid is set at 1 million RMB, with minimum increments of 100,000. The bidding quickly escalates with offers of 1.3 million, 1.5 million, and 1.7 million flying in. Chao stands up dramatically and bids 2 million, declaring that he will take the Ice Jade Incense Cauldron as a gift for his girlfriend. He throws a smug glance at Liu Nian, remarking that unlike some people, he can afford to give decent gifts. His girlfriend, playing her part, makes cute faces and coos that this is why she loves Chao, because he always treats her the best. Liu Nian, watching this display, smirks inwardly. He knows the best is yet to come, and he's ready to show Chao what real generosity looks like. With an evil grin, Chao reflects that his taunts might provoke Liu Nian to bid against him. He thinks that if Liu Nian is using a stolen card, he's dead meat. To everyone's surprise, Liu Nian calmly bids 4 million. The crowd gasps, shocked by the audacity of doubling the bid in one go. As expected from a black gold card owner, he certainly knows how to make an entrance. One spectator comments that the item has a half-hour cooldown, making it useful only once in a blue moon, and thus not worth 4 million at all. Liu Nian, unfazed, maintains his confident demeanor, knowing that his move has already made Chao's day go from bad to worse. Chao reflects that messing with a black gold card holder might not be the smartest move, especially if someone is just using their money to show off. He smugly thinks it's only a matter of time before Liu Nian ends up in jail for using a stolen card. The Madam of Manhwa Tower taps her hammer and announces that the item is sold for 4 million. She congratulates Liu Nian and then moves on to the next item. As Liu Nian takes the Ice Jade Incense Cauldron from the bunny girl, he reflects that this new accessory can actually restore health during fights, and he can use it 3 times in a row, ignoring the cooldown. He smiles to himself, thinking that 4 million was a small price to pay for such a lifesaver. That's the beauty of being filthy rich. Sometimes you really do get what you pay for. Chao's girlfriend wonders if Liu Nian was provoked by Chao's words and now wants to show off or perhaps even make it up to her. Meanwhile, in the following rounds of bidding, Liu Nian realizes that, as expected, without a special auction day, there isn't anything particularly good up for grabs. None of the items match his waste not, want not skill, leaving him slightly disappointed. The Madam of Manhwa Tower announces the final item of the day, presenting the crown jewel of the auction, the 9 Luminaries Azure Dragon Robe. Seeing the robe, Liu Nian's eyes shine with excitement. The Madam declares the starting bid at 3 million RMB, with minimum increments of 100,000 RMB. She explains that this robe is crafted from the finest gold thread and imbued with the essence of dragon bones, granting exceptional physical and magical attack and defense, essentially making the wearer a walking powerhouse. Liu Nian, recognizing the immense value of this item, feels a surge of determination. He knows this robe could be the ultimate addition to his arsenal, perfectly complementing his waste not, want not skill. The spectators buzz with excitement, commenting on how versatile the robe is, perfect for both warriors and mages. One spectator, wide-eyed, can't believe his luck, stating that this thing makes one practically invincible against early-game bosses, totally overpowered. Liu Nian finds it all very interesting. The bidding starts with a flurry. Someone bids 3.5 million, then another jumps to 4 million. Chao, not to be outdone, bids 5 million, taunting Liu Nian by insinuating that if he still thinks he can use that stolen card, now's the time to prove it. The crowd murmurs, sensing the brewing rivalry. Chao reflects on how badly he wants that equipment. His girlfriend gushes about his generosity, claiming his masculinity is intoxicating. His followers cheer, exclaiming that spending money like water makes Chao the most impressive of all. Suddenly, Liu Nian bids 10 million for the dragon robe, startling everyone. Furious, Chao shouts, questioning if that's even a legit way to bid. Another bidder loses his cool, commenting on how outrageous it is to double the amount. He wonders if these people parting with money realize this in-game currency is as real as their rapidly vanishing savings. Another spectator starts crying and lamenting that the bid is like a lifetime of hard labor, insanely extravagant. The Madam of Balboa Tower reflects on the unexpected windfall, realizing they snagged a big spender at what was supposed to be an ordinary auction. Determined not to let a big fish like Liu Nian slip away, she swiftly announces that the item is sold for 10 million. Chao, meanwhile, looks like he's just swallowed a lemon, realizing his attempts to outshine Liu Nian have backfired spectacularly. Liu Nian glances back at the crestfallen Chao and his ex-girlfriend, reveling in their stunned expressions. With a smug smile, he asks if they can see what true wealth looks like. He tells them they are not even in his league when it comes to bidding. Chao, now resembling a deflated balloon, realizes his grandstanding has been utterly crushed. Liu Nian reflects that this is far from over and he will make them pay for every insult with interest. His ex-girlfriend, now seeing the true value of Liu Nian's black gold card and his willingness to spend over 10 million, begins to realize she might have misjudged him. She wonders if he could actually be richer than Chao, kicking herself for her poor judgment. Determined to fix her mistake, she decides to find a way back into Liu Nian's good graces. While they say a lit bird cannot change its spots, she vows to be the exception. In her mind, she sends a message to Liu Nian, declaring her intentions to come back to him, imagining a grand reunion in her own self-serving daydream. Meanwhile, in the changing room of Balboa Tower, Liu Nian adorns the 9 luminaries' azure dragon robe. It fits perfectly, making him feel powerful and invincible. Suddenly, the door clanks open and his ex-girlfriend appears. She confesses that she was wrong to leave him and begs for another chance. Liu Nian, amused and incredulous, asks why she is crawling back to him when she is with Jin Chao now. She grabs his arm and apologizes, telling him it's all her fault. She adds that they haven't even celebrated their 3rd anniversary properly and promises to make it up to him tonight. Liu Nian, skeptical, reflects on her attempt to manipulate him. He thinks to himself that he's seen much bigger schemes than this little trick. Meanwhile, his ex-girlfriend silently gloats, considering Liu Nian an easy target. She plans to get him back in her grasp, snatch his black gold card, and turn her dream of becoming a socialite into reality. She chuckles at these thoughts, convinced that her plan will work without a hitch. Little does she know, Liu Nian is already 10 steps ahead, ready to turn the tables on her yet again. Liu Nian slaps her away, reminding her that despite their 3 years together, she always pushed him away whenever he tried to make a move, saying to wait until after marriage. Yet with Jin Chao, she cheated. The intensity of the slap leaves her eyes wide in shock, almost popping out like a cartoon character. She stumbles back, clutching her cheek, looking like she just got hit by a reality check express. Liu Nian, with a look of disdain, turns away, thinking to himself that no one gets to play him for a fool. Meanwhile, the Madam of Balboa Tower approaches the changing room, puzzled by the commotion. She muses that wherever there are distinguished people, admirers are sure to gather. Entering the changing room, she is met by Liu Nian, who asks her if she is indeed the Madam of Balboa Tower and inquires what brings her here. The Madam, with a polite smile, tells him that she just wanted to see if her esteemed guest has some time for a chat tonight. Liu Nian, trying to keep his composure, can't help but admire her impressive presence. He thinks to himself that those melons are definitely something worth admiring. His ex-girlfriend is still lying on the floor, rubbing her cheek and feeling the sting of the slap. The Madam, noticing her, gives her a swift kick on the butt and remarks that such a mediocre person should only be cleaning the toilets in Balboa Tower. Liu Nian can't help but chuckle at the sight, thinking that justice has a funny way of playing out. The Madam then turns her attention back to Liu Nian, her smile never wavering, ready to discuss whatever she has in mind for their chat tonight. Just then, Jin Chao charges into the Balboa Tower with 2 policemen in tow. Jin Chao yells for everyone to stop, insisting that Liu Nian only got the black gold card by chance and that his source of money is suspicious, suggesting fraud. One of the policemen approaches Liu Nian, informing him that they have received a report regarding some anomalies in the Balboa Tower's auction. He requests Liu Nian to cooperate with the investigation and present his black gold card for account verification. Liu Nian, maintaining his composure, hands over the card with a smirk, thinking that this show is about to get even more entertaining. Liu Nian thinks to himself that if things go south, Miss Fang will surely come to his rescue. Meanwhile, his ex-girlfriend scurries back to Jin Chao, grabbing his feet and declaring that she knew it all along. How could this pauper get rich overnight? Turns out he just picked up the black gold card. Shameless, she mutters. Jin Chao nods, agreeing that the game operators are cracking down hard on cheaters and frauds. He smirks, confident that Liu Nian's downfall is imminent. Chao informs Liu Nian that he's headed straight for jail. However, after a closer look, it's clear the card belongs to Mr. Liu Nian, and there's no trace of fraudulent activity. The policeman returns the card to Liu Nian and advises him to keep it safe, maybe even under lock and key next time. Liu Nian can't help but think that it looks like Miss Fang updated the cardholder information just in time, like a superhero swooping in at the last second. A policeman approaches Jin Chao and informs him that the Baohua Tower's auction is indeed legitimate and has always complied with regulations. He cautions Jin Chao to have solid evidence before making reports. If Jin Chao slanders others again, they will have to take him in for questioning. Jin Chao rubs the back of his head, looking like he's just realized he forgot his keys and wonders if the policemen are really just going to leave like that. Furious at the perceived insult, he approaches Liu Nian and demands to know how a sewer rat like him could possess a black gold card, questioning what tricks he must have pulled. Liu Nian chuckles, replying that he simply enjoys watching Chio get salty. In a fit of rage, Chio draws his sword and threatens to cut Liu Nian into pieces. Liu Nian, with a smirk, tells Chio to bring it on, eager to test out his new gear's performance. Just then, the Madam of Baohua Tower intervenes, delivering a slap so intense that Chio goes flying like a rag doll in a tornado. The Madam, hands on hips, declares that enough is enough and warns that if he fights inside the premises of Baohua Tower again, he'll be in for a permanent timeout. Knocked down on the floor, Chao reflects that messing with the Madam is about as wise as poking a bear with a stick. He immediately gets up and leaves with his girlfriend, cursing Liu Nian all the way out. The Madam, not one to miss an opportunity, tells him to just get out and gives them an extra kick for good measure. She then turns to Liu Nian and with a sly smile reminds him that he now owes her a favor and asks how he plans to repay it. Liu Nian thanks her for her help and offers to treat her to dinner. The Madam replies that dinner won't be necessary and suggests he come to her room for a chat instead. Liu Nian reflects that he just went through a long night with Miss Fang yesterday, and if it happens a second time, he'll be completely drained. He hesitates and says it might be a bit inappropriate, as he thought she was already married. The Madam steps closer, her eyes narrowing, and asks if he's implying that she's too old. Liu Nian, sweating bullets, quickly realizes he stepped on a landmine and scrambles to find a way out of this one. She stresses that her skills are far beyond those of inexperienced girls and moves close to his ear, exhaling softly. Liu Nian, feeling the heat, states that he has an urgent matter to attend to and suggests perhaps another time. But just then, the Madam grabs his shoulder and insists he hear her out. As he turns back, she puts her lips on his, leaving Liu Nian to reflect, not again. He really needs to start charging for these encounters. The Madam reflects that she's heard this little guy might have something valuable in his mouth and decides to check it out herself. As she tastes him, she reflects that this taste is just like her elder sister's, though she wonders how, considering her sister is sealed in the Xuanyuan tomb. She muses that if there's a trace up here, there must be a trace down there too. With a mischievous glint in her eye, she goes down on her knees and tells Liu Nian that he should let her help him relax a bit. What happens next is, well, exactly what you're imagining. It is now confirmed to the Madam that this taste is undoubtedly her elder sister's, along with her other sisters. Liu Nian wonders if this is how the rich live, constantly caught in bizarre situations. The Madam reflects that no one except Emperor Xin could have these sisters at his service. She heard that Emperor Xin used to work at the Celestial Realm's marriage registry office, but got demoted to the mortal world for skipping work too often. Even celestial bureaucrats can't escape the wrath of HR. After they are done, the Madam asks Liu Nian how it was. Liu Nian replies that it was amazing, absolutely fantastic. The Madam then hands him a phone, guessing that since he's new to this world, he probably doesn't have any way to communicate yet. She tells him it contains her contact info, and if he needs anything, just give her a call. King Kui is always here to cater to his every desire. Liu Nian takes the phone and comments that he didn't expect this world to have cell phones, thinking they might use magical communication talismans instead. The Madam chuckles and tells him he's funny, explaining that those talismans are ancient history. Nowadays, they use phones for long-distance calls and telepathy for up close. She then rests her head on his chest and asks if he wants her to teach him how to use telepathy. Liu Nian, feeling a bit like he's in a bizarre tech-meets-magic sitcom, can't help but wonder what the telepathy data plan looks like. As she engages him in conversation, her hands subtly search his clothes. Suddenly, his jade seal slips out, emitting a golden aura. Liu Nian reflects that he's busted. Seeing the jade seal, the Madam recognizes it as Emperor Xin's. She realizes that Liu Nian is truly the rebirth of Emperor Xin. Liu Nian, caught between feeling special and wishing he had better hiding spots, braces for what's next. The madam informs Liu Nian that flaunting such a treasure in plain sight is practically sending out invitations to trouble. With a knowing smile, she hands him a ring and explains it's a storage ring designed to hold all of his valuables. She adds with a wink that this isn't your everyday storage ring. It comes with a built-in array to keep nosy folks from snooping around. Liu Nian thanks her for the gift, but to his surprise, the madam casually replies that it's no problem at all. With a sigh, she reflects aloud that he is, after all, her brother-in-law. She laments that her poor sister has been locked away for 1,000 years, and their family has fallen on hard times since then. 1,000 years is a long time for a timeout, even by family drama standards. Liu Nian wonders if the madam is working for Shen Gongbao or if he should take her down. Sensing his internal debate, the madam chuckles and tells him to relax, assuring him that she won't rat him out because she has her own connections. Liu Nian is taken aback by her response, realizing she can practically read his mind. The madam advises him to be more cautious with his thoughts around powerful individuals as they can sense them. She adds with a sly grin that when humans pray, they are essentially transmitting thought messages, so better watch those mental notes. Liu Nian praises the madam, saying she's absolutely breathtaking, the most beautiful, and her skills are truly unparalleled. The madam laughs, calling him a smooth talker and noting that he doesn't sound like an emperor at all. She asks if his time in the celestial workplace has softened him up. However, she quickly shifts her demeanor, telling him enough with the joking. She warns him that this realm is dangerous and advises him to watch his back. After all, it's not every day you get life tips from someone who could double as a motivational speaker and a mind reader. She then hands him a copy of a textbook titled A Mortal's Journey to Immortality, advising him to learn from Han Paopao, the main character of the book. With a smirk, she adds that meeting her today might have just saved him from some real trouble. Liu Nian, curious and a bit dramatic, sniffs the notebook and thanks her, promising to always remember her kindness. He then asks her if Bao Tower trades in information as he needs to find out where his father and cousin are. The madam nods and tells him that indeed, Bao Tower not only auctions treasures, but also sells information. She assures him that she will put in the order, and they should have news in a few days. Liu Nian thanks her, mentioning that he needs to get back to his cultivation, so he won't keep her any longer. With a playful sigh, the madam tells him that in that case, she won't keep him, though she was hoping they could chat late into the night. Just then, footsteps approach and a funny man appears. With a cheeky grin, he tells the madam that he can chat with her late into the night since he's got plenty of time. The madam rolls her eyes and addresses the funny man as Pigsy, asking him if he'll ever give up. Pigsy, however, is so persistent, like a mosquito at a summer picnic. Pigsy drops to his knees and begs the madam to spend some time with him, promising to give her his great-grandfather's treasure in return. Furious, the madam spits on him, and in a ridiculous move, Pigsy catches the spit and grins. Disgusted, she orders Pigsy to get out. Moments later, just as Liu Nian is about to leave the auction hall of Bao Tower, a voice calls out for him to stop. Turning to see who is calling, he is surprised to witness Pigsy following him. Liu Nian wonders what on earth Pigsy might want from him now. I hope that you liked today's video, and if you did, hit that like button as today's goal is 1,500 likes. Comment part 2 down below for the next part. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.